Hello everyone, Chauncey Gamer here, and today I will be doing something completely different. This isn't the video I used to make, but I think it's time that I have to make this. Now, what is this video, you may be wondering? Well, this video is going to be something involving my old memories through my childhood experience, involving to this point. Now, I know what you're wondering. Why am I making this? Well, I've been keeping this hidden for far too long, and I think it's time for me to actually discuss it. And sorry if the screen is pitch black. I couldn't think of any other, background to use, but for right now, just imagine something is on screen. Either way, let's begin this story. February 15th, 2008, the year I was born. I was given to my real mother, which I'm not going to call any names due to, personal stuff. Don't want to get doxxed, Anyways, I was actually born in a hospital, and to my surprise, it didn't work out so great. Basically, I had asthma. Used to have asthma. And basically, I had to keep taking medication to stop the asthma from, being active and stuff. But I'm not going to go in much more detail about that. Anyways, usual stuff when you're a baby and stuff. Just usual things. But there was something more you guys didn't know about. And I might as well say it now. February, not February, but during a couple of months of me being a baby and stuff. But let's get to the next part. January 1st, 2009. Still a month-old baby during the time. And yet, when you're a couple of months old, you have the ability to speak. Well, in my condition, I couldn't. I couldn't speak. I couldn't learn to say words. Anything, to be precise. And I also had to get a couple of braces on my legs. So, yeah. And it took a couple of, years for me to start speaking. And it actually happened. And I'm quite surprised, because basically I had to keep learning sign languages and stuff back then. But now, since I know how to speak, I don't do sign languages anymore. So, I think that's something. But, let's actually let's jump time a bit, where there was an incident happened. What is this incident, you may ask? Well, I'm not sure to tell you. During my, well, elementary or middle school year, I forgot, but I think it was elementary. There was this medical incident that happened. Basically, I was actually doing work and stuff, school work, and then I felt something on my foot. It was like it was moving on its own. I did remember, I was confused until I had a seizure. It was honestly shocking, embarrassing, traumatizing. I couldn't barely remember what happened. And during all that seizure process, the next day, I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember what exactly happened or anything around me. And it was hard to explain what was going on. That was until when I arrived back home. I was asleep. I had night terrors. And yes, I was at a young age. I think I was about either 5 or 6. I can't barely remember. I can't barely remember what year this took place in, which is hard to refresh my memory. But anyways, I had traumatizing night terrors. This night terror in particular is kind of traumatizing for me, at least. I was thinking my mother was there, thinking that, she was gone or something. I was still asleep. I got off my mother's bed and ran to the hallway, like as if I was about to walk out the door. That was how intense those night terrors were. Those night terrors can be traumatizing, but from my experience, at least, and it was all too much. Well, I'm trying to remember my experience since it's hard to remember things. Anyways, the first time, I can't barely remember, but sadly, a family member of mine has died. Not my mother or nothing, but my grandmother. Well, she died when I was at a young age, and it was devastating, to say the least. And now I miss her even more. And now, involving my asthma condition, I don't have it anymore. But that was until that my family found out that I have ADHD and autism. And honestly, I'm not that surprised, to be honest. And I was different, completely different, that people don't know about. Now let's get to where we are now. My high school experience. And oh boy, it wasn't pleasant. My freshman year. during my freshman year, I used to get bullied a lot due to me being different to the others. And I can't imagine my first time being in high school now. I was maybe around 14 at the time, I believe. But anyways, a white guy, I think it was white. I think his name is Matt, and basically I was minding my own business, being on my Chromebook and stuff, the usual stuff, since, I don't know how to communicate without being on the laptop all the time. So basically, this guy walked up to me and smacked me for no reason. I felt confused and shocked. And I'm a nice guy and stuff. I don't like fights and stuff, but it was traumatizing to say the least because, I was kind of sensitive to people fighting, even if it's too much and loud noises and stuff. I used to actually have a mental breakdown if I see people fighting around me. I couldn't barely control it. I couldn't even understand what was around me, whether or not if I can understand what was going on. But anyways, back to my high school experience. I told my mom about it, and oh boy, she wasn't happy. I'm not going to put in some more details about it, but it's something else. And what can I say? If someone hurts your kid, you would actually be ticked off. And I can't blame her. I would as well. But anyways, let's get to the main part of this story. Well, let's rewind the time in a bit before my high school experience. Basically, I did make a lot of friends back in middle school. Some of my friends was named Bishop and Susie. Honestly, it's been 17 years since I've heard of Susie. 17 years. And yet, I don't know how to get in contact with her. And it's honestly kind of, something to expect for something to have a long-lost friend that you need to reunite with, But what can I say? Anyways, since I already rewinded the time, let's go back to the main story. Let's go to 2020. 2020, the year my channel was made. Now you must be wondering, what has this got to do with my life? Well, honestly, I want to explain a couple of things why I'll make my channel. And why I wanted to become a YouTuber. Actually, I would want to get to that first. You must be wondering why I wanted to be a YouTuber in the first place. Well, I wanted to be a YouTuber because I've seen a lot of videos during my past childhood experience. And I wasn't like one of those iPad kids or whatever. I used to watch horror content Sonic related content, and also creepypasta related content. I wasn't like one of those people who just watch kids content. I was a huge fan of horror content related stuff. Even Scientology as well. Which I know the main story isn't that good. But you get my point. And honestly, who wouldn't? And, I mean, compared to some of the swear words back then, back in the YouTube era, my mom would sometimes tell me to get off of things, get off those inappropriate stuff. But yet, I didn't mind her. I didn't listen then. So I continued doing my own stuff. And since, it was my big dream to become a content creator one day. And it kind of happened unexpectedly. And instead of talking about my childhood experience, I might as well get to the good part. Now, you guys may remember the first release of the Wii, right? The Nintendo console. Well, I remember getting one of those for Christmas. And honestly, it was fun. My first game I ever played on the Wii was Wii Sports and Mario Galaxy. Mario Galaxy was the best game that I've ever played during my childhood. And I used to remember having a PlayStation 2, which I still miss to this day. Honestly, my first game I also played on that console was Crash Bandicoot 2, and 3 as well, along with the kart racing game. I am a huge fan of Crash after all, even the whole franchise. I didn't know much about Spyro and any other Sony stuff. The only thing I knew about was Crash and Rayman. That was all I know at the time. My childhood experience was really good, to say the least. Really good. That, well, let me get to the point. 2020, the COVID year. I met my first ever friend online, Cody, Chuckles, and Elijah. They all was my best friends till the end. But, like people always say, it will always, all best friends don't last forever. If that's what I hope it was. But, before I get to that, I want to say something important. Really important. Basically, I didn't get into a good relationship with my father. But we will get to that later. All I'm saying is that I am lucky that I am still here. I am lucky that I am still alive in this world. Because honestly, I literally almost died in the womb. Like literally in the womb. But I guess life had other plans for me. And honestly, look at the long way What can I say? I'm grateful. I've came a long way. I made new friends. I honestly, since Treasury 6 is on the way, I am almost about to graduate high school, which I'm lucky for that. But you must be wondering, what about college? What about getting my degree? Well, it's a hard decision to make. I haven't decided whether or not I want to go to college. It was a hard decision, to say the least, and I'm still debating. But what my all-time dream is to code games one day. I want to be a game developer. I want to be a voice actor. I want to make my dream come true. But I need to learn from it. I need to learn how to do all those things. Now, I want to get back to what I was saying about my old friends. Back around 2021, I've lost one of my most trusted friends, Cody, Chuckles, and Elijah. They recently stopped trusting me, all due to me doing something stupid in the past. I used to do all of those things, yet I used to blame other people for it. Why? I don't know. I was still a kid at the time. And honestly, it was stupid of me to do it, I know. But I really wish I can go back in time and reverse everything that happened and get Cody, Chuckles, and Nigel back on my side. But that wasn't the case. I was begging and begging and begging over and over and over again to give me another chance. To give me at least one more chance. But nothing happened. There was no hope. And the only person I had left was Mason, which I knew ever since 2020. We both was young at the time. We both was really good friends. And nothing can tear us apart from that. We both became friends online. That was when I started my first channel, Chauncey Gamer, back in 2020. I used to make streams on there, which is dumb because YouTube basically disabled my ability to live stream on there, but that's not the point. I was young at the time. I wanted to live stream at a young age. I was 12 at the time. 12 years old. I've encountered a website called StreamYard. StreamYard is a streaming service where you can actually live stream and people can actually join your stream so they can actually communicate with you. So while streaming on StreamYard, a person came to my stream. I was confused. And yet, here he was, Mason. Mason is a kind-hearted man. I mean, yeah, he do have some anger issues here and there, but I'm not going to get to that point since, I might as well keep his life private until the time is right. But all of this, would it be possible without him? I mean, no, Mason is the one who told me to, join YouTube and stuff. I made that decision. That was when I made my first ever video, which is stupid. My first ever video was called Angry Chauncey Joined the Channel. Who is Angry Chauncey, you may ask? Well, he is my character that I made when I was younger in Gotcha Knife. Gotcha Knife is, I mean, what can I say? It's a app. And it's very cringe to say the least, and I can cringe a little bit from using that app. And there's another website that I encountered back then. It's called Scratch. Back in elementary school, I was in computer class. My computer teacher announced us to this coding website called Scratch. And honestly, I was confused as to what it was. And boy, was I wrong. Scratch is a wonderful website, to say the least, which isn't the same until now. This Scratch website actually changed everything. It changed my life. It changed everything. I got addicted to it. I got addicted to make games on it. And yet I do take breaks here and there. But nothing can ever change me from what I am. I am not no person behind the screen. I am a real person. I am a nice person. And yet there is something else that I don't get. I don't understand why people call me rude. I used to be called rude. I used to be called mean. And they used to call me a liar. I used to remember being outside, going to the mailbox as usual. But there was these two, people or kids or whatever, teenage kids, I think. I used to know them. I don't know what happened to them now. But they asked me how old I was. They didn't believe me. So then before I got in the house, they decided to block my way. They grabbed me. There was this other boy. They put their arms around my neck, like as if it was trying to choke me until I was not responding, like as if they was trying to kill me. I was freaked out. I didn't know what to do. Until they let me go. I was traumatized. I was scared to go back out there. I went back in the house. My mom told me to go to the mailbox, but yet I declined the offer because I was scared that they were still out there, waited for me to strike back again. And I didn't want to go out there. I was younger at the time, but I didn't want to go back out there. I didn't want to get harmed again. I didn't want this to be the end of me. And it's I'm glad that I made it through. I'm glad I'm still alive. And honestly, I am grateful that I'm still alive on this world. You guys don't understand how much I've been through after 17 whole years up to this point. And with 2025 about to come to an end in about 2 months, I am glad that I am still in this world. I hope you guys understand how grateful I am to all of you, to all of my fans out there, to all of my subscribers, and to all of my friends included. And all of you guys is the reason why that I kept going. I kept going because of all of you. All of you kept me up my knees. And I am thankful for that. And with me being a YouTuber, I don't know what to say. I am glad that I came up to this point. And all that I can say is thank you. Oh, and before I stop this video, honestly, this is my first time doing this, and all of this is true, so I'm trying to refresh my memory. But there's one thing I need to say. I didn't get to know more about my dad. That was until Father's Day. Father's Day, I think it was last year. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. My father decided to contact me after so long. And honestly, I kind of felt inner rage inside, inner hatred for not being there for so long. I even called him a complete stranger. That's how ticked off I was after so long. And yet, I don't know if I want him back in my life after so long. I'm not going to get in much more details since it will actually piss me off even more. Anyways, I want to leave out a final message to you all as a thank you gift for everything you guys has done for me over the years. Even if it is in, good and bad stuff, everything ended up good in the end. And I'm glad that I can be part, and I'm glad that you guys gave me a chance to be part of this community, to be part of this YouTube community. And you guys must be wondering, when am I going to get to that YouTube part? Well, honestly, if you guys didn't hear it, you might as well, rewind the video if you didn't. But either way, my experience on YouTube wasn't, well, good. I used to make cringe content. I was young at the time. And all these content was pretty bad. Up to now. Yes, I make reaction content here and there. And I might make more reaction content for you all. It depends. And also it depends on you guys. Now, I'm gonna start recording this now. Because I don't know what else to add more to this video. But I want to say thank you for everything. Thank you for everything you guys done for me. And I thank you guys for watching this video of my knife. All this is pretty true. And I want to thank you guys as well. I hope to see you guys on the next video. With all that said, thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. This is Chauncey Gamer signing out. Peace out, guys. And thank you for everything. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I kind of forgot to mention about something. I'm gonna go back to something I forgot to mention. Something that kind of scared me during my past. So basically, I think I was doing high school at the time. But basically, I think it was the same boy or man. But basically, he told me, I think I was still in my freshman or sophomore, or I forgot what grade I was in back then. But he told me that if I do come, that he will try to shoot my mother. I was scared the next day. I was scared to go back to school. I was scared he might actually show up. I was worried even. And I just didn't know what to do during that time. Oh, and there was also something else I forgot to mention. I also forgot to mention that when I was younger at the time, I didn't have a very good appetite. I used to have to eat. I didn't used to eat anything. And, what I've heard is that if I don't actually eat anything sooner, they would have to put me in the hospital when I was younger at the time. And I think that's about it. That was all the extra things that I forgot to put out there. Anyways, I'm gonna for real end this off. So, thank you guys for watching this knife story of mine, because all of this is true. and stay safe out there. Peace out, everyone.